This is going to be the starting point, and I will show you how broken capitalism is. But the biggest broken thing is that I wasn't able to make a single relationship working anyway. Not a single one. How did my effort and investment just fucking evaporated? Like, if you just tell me, you will never be able to contact human beings. You will become an alien to humanity. There is no reason to talk to human beings and interact with them and have experience with human beings. Someone should have told me. That's how broken capitalism is. The only relationship I have that works is this financial reliance on my mom, right? Again, technically capitalism is survival. That's how broken it is. You survive, thumbs up. Because the insanity that capitalism can produce, the way people actually bend the broken system into their own favor, but into reality's entire disfavor. Like, people can actually disrespect reality itself. Reality disrespect, because everyone is free, so the first thing that they do with freedom is they twist reality that they perceive in their heads. They want to be the dictators, you know? So they will block you, ignore you, destroy any relationship they like, as long as it helps them dictate reality. That's it. It's that crazy. Everyone is Putin. They just don't have a fucking army. You know, everyone is unhinged in that sense. You don't have moral high ground of any kind. Again, I tried. I put a lot of effort. I would love to get my investment back of all the time I spent with human beings, because it never fucking went anywhere. You know, it was always destroyed. As if I created Palestinian and Israel always found it. Killed it. Cold-blooded. So the only thing that worked up to this point is relationship with my mom. You know, you get shit out, you get stuck in the basement, you lock yourself in because the world is just this insane, you know, that cannot actually stabilize anything, even though, like, we have technology, we have all the ability to keep every relationship working all at the same time. We have a... And yet people dictate everything to the point where they don't know how to use the internet. They don't know how to have conversations. They don't have the most basic human skill anymore. And they're fine with it. That's crazy, right? They can call me incel, but they have never dated me or understood that what kind of person I am, right? They can call me jobless, but they have traumatized me to the point where I get money. What else do you want? There's nothing I can do. I already get money for the amount of fucking damage I've received in my life. So there is no possible name that they can call me to actually feel better about themselves, but that's what they try to do. They try to bend reality, disrespect reality, just to fucking find control, find more freedom than there should be. And so, Tinder is a good equivalent of what happens. Nothing happens. The app doesn't even work. If the app worked, I could actually talk to something. Even a fucking AI at this point. Even AI. AI works. Tinder? Nuh-uh. Right? That is the level of how far a broken system can go. A broken system can give you something that doesn't work at all. 0% functionality. Imagine that. Imagine that. Because The best fucking thing about capitalism is when you realize the moment functionality is, let's use the word decentralized, it's over. It basically, it's wasted 100%. You see the true nature of human beings, and it's called incompetence and stupidity. And just like, greed, the evil. If you ask for democracy, you get fucking nothing. It's not about democracy. It's about asking people to do a real effort to vote, right? That's what makes the difference. That's why democracy is actually portrayed by old people. Old people always go to vote because they have been, programmed to finally think of like, oh, it's actually pretty easy. I just go there, do that, and stop thinking about it, right? And they take all the blame for causing democracy. Well, you have to think about it. If some level of competence is required, then the whatever app or whatever thing is, it's going to work better. This is why you need to enslave human beings to then pay the money, and that's the best system. So there's the counterpart to the broken system is the, the job system, which cannot possibly be broken because that's the whole point. Right? They got to be a counterpart, technically. So if we all had jobs of finding a girlfriend and boyfriend, if we had jobs, we get not necessarily paid, but we get closer to our goal, for example. We get paid in tokens or something that we can spend. If this was our job, we would do very well. But if this just random decentralized system that relies on other people doing the right thing, we're fucked. How do I know this? This game is a card game, 2-player game, meaning immediately it's reliant on this other person to be a functional human being. But what actually happens is not only, even if you split 50-50, half of the time, half of the weight has to be carried by the other person. Half of the time you're just reacting to what the other person is doing. The biggest problem is, most of the time, they do nothing. They just sit there and think. They sit there and waste your time. It eventually becomes not a 50-50 relationship. Eventually it becomes you put in 10% of effort and they put 90% of God knows what. Ethereal matter. It doesn't match. They're wasting your fucking time. You want it to hurry up all the time. And the game fundamentally breaks and becomes the most stressful experience imaginable. Because you're actually playing unskilled players because you're not being matched properly. You're not even being matched properly by the system itself. The system itself thinks of like, well, this guy thought for this, that's how long you can think. That's legal. But like, thinking is also part of the game. And most like high-level players don't want to be stuck on a fucking 30-second cycle every single turn. They just get thrown into this cycle of abuse. Good players can decide in like 6 seconds. And you can have like pocketed time to use for like later. For more like complicated turns. What is going on? That's how broken the system is. They don't fucking care about the most fundamental parts, which is how it fucking hurts. How much it fucking hurts, dude. They don't care about the fundamentals. Fundamentals. If you fuck up a fundamental, you screw up the whole thing. It doesn't matter what you do afterwards. It doesn't even matter how much money you make. Because what Hearthstone is right now, despite millions upon millions earned. It's torture. It's human torture. To the point where those people probably should go to jail if the law catches up to what's actually going on. I mean, it's crazy. Gamers are just basically testing dummies for how broken things can get, for how infuriating you can just break certain mechanics, or even just do it on purpose. Who knows, right? But there's no logic behind a turn timer in this game at all. Zero. It's just a waste. It just favors a person who might have a terrible, internet connection, which is a fucking skill issue, rather. Stay in your lane. Stop dragging other people down just because other people are poor or whatever, right? How does that translate to Tinder exactly? Well, let me tell you how it translates, because it's horrifying. It's all I have to say. Women. That's it. The end of my discussion. Women don't know how to use internet. You rely 90% of the work has to be done by women who are dumbasses. They don't know how to do fucking shit. They don't know how to reply nothing, bro. They just ask themselves, why am I here? Why am I even here, they ask themselves. It's so fucking degenerate. They're insane. They don't know. Look, why am I here? I'm a fucking diva. I don't care about this shit. I shouldn't care about any of this. I'm not supposed to invest. What am I supposed to get from this? Right? And it's like, they're such dictators. They're such assholes. Yes, they will absolutely go after top 10% of players because they want to feel like they're the reward system, basically, for any given, social bubble. They're the reward system of oh, dude, you win this thing. You want to hang out with me? They want to be cool like that, but they don't know. They don't know that the system is broken. And there's no fixing it. There is no game here. That's the problem. There is nothing to what is the game? First impression is the game? Is that what you think it is? So if you base everything on first impression basis, holy shit. And yet I have seen it across the internet. Let me introduce you to Charlie XCX. Now, if you haven't listened to her music, you would be like, yeah, she's popular. Why? Why is she popular? You will find no explanation of why. No matter how hard the more you try, the less you will have for explanation. I have zero explanations. I got stunned, bro, of how shitty her music is, how untalented this person is, how lazy they are. And it's just, she's still popular, though. A broken system produces fucking anomalies like that, statistical anomalies. Oh, but she's attractive, I guess. Anyone can be attractive, though. It's insane to me, guys. It's insane. Paramore sits in the same category. I actually collected quite a few. Yeah, she's attractive to some extent, but mostly she's trash. She has a few hit songs that people know her for, but mostly she's untalented garbage. Release more shit into the world than actual success, so it's what's going on? And after these motherfuckers, they become popular, they just hog the whole system. They just fucking bloat the whole system. Everything gets stuck. I mean, I can be even pissed about Ariana right now. Cancel Ariana already. Right? Cancel. You can do it. Yeah, don't fucking tremble in fear. Don't pretend that you cannot click button because you already have tics, basically. Or I want to press button. People have no ability to give shame for incompetence. Something is wrong, right? People cannot smell incompetence right now because probably they themselves are incompetent. Let me press a button. I'm too small, guys. I'm too small. Oops. Couldn't cancel that person. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go now and spend my energy somewhere else. Yeah? Okay, just whatever happens. Like, no, stop questioning things. Like, whatever. If you act like, again, on the surface, wonderful stuff. I'm so excited. I'm jumping up and down. I want all her music. You dig deeper and it's like, that was the whole thing. The surface was the whole thing. When you do research, everything falls apart. It's over, dude. You have been lied to all the fucking time because that's how easy it is. As long as you create a surface image of someone, as long as you create a first impression, that's all that the population cares about. Nothing else. First impression, first 5 seconds. That's why I'm not popular, guys. Because people are dumbasses right now. And they love it. They enjoy doing that so much. They live a first impression lifestyle, basically. While everything else is completely broken. And the only question is like, how much of this can you ignore? How much of the fucking brokenness can you swallow? How much can you actually shut down the pain of other people who are trying to do something but nothing is working? Right? Like, if I was to draw a graph, it would just be a steady line into fucking number 0. Right? This is how my Tinder worked. It worked 100%, and now it works 0%. So, instead of making the app better, it's worse. Isn't that magical? Isn't that the most beautiful thing you have ever seen? That is like pure capitalism, right? Capitalism. The declining functionality of something, ever declining. And at the same time, then it's like, there's gotta be like other dating apps, right? I feel stupid myself thinking about Tinder in the first place. Like, there's gotta be another fucking one. And again, my goal is simply one day, talk to a person. That's right. One day, guys. The ultimate goal. Truly unmatched request from the universe. The universe is scrambling, folding upon itself. The sparks are flying. Talk to a person is unachievable goals. If you're poor and your first impression level is still, unattained. Because I don't care about your fucking first impression. Because that would be a boring conversation anyways. Right? That's the problem. I don't want no fucking small talk. Because these first impression pieces of shit, they're gonna give me the small talk. I don't want none of that shit. That's the problem. I'm not gonna get what I actually want. I'm not gonna talk to the person. And again, every now and then, things kind of worked in my favor. Every now and then we had sparks flying, right? The promises were landing of like, man, this could happen. This could be happening. Until it just stopped. Probably with the best spark, but at the same time the worst. Because it ends eventually. Because the interest shifts. Every woman has the ultimate ability to just like, look away. Someone else is interested in me, actually. Bye. With the most impossible odds, obviously. Because it's not 50-50 in that sense. Meaning that women's interest is somewhere bloated. Somewhere bloated to the point where, like, you fucking trip and women start flocking after you. That is also a very likely scenario, and I will actually poke that next year. Start wearing weird shirts that say things, that provoke women's attention. Or consent to them approaching you or whatever. And we'll see how much women have bloated themselves into, not knowing how to use internet, first of all, was the problem this whole time. Because when you know how to use internet and you actually care about relationships, which is what I thought women would actually do, they would be the ones who actually care. I would at least know what the other fucking dating app is. What is the second one? This one doesn't fucking work for me. Maybe there's the second one where shittier people go to, I don't know. There's gotta be something that I can switch to because now it's 0% functionality. There's gotta be a fucking replacement for that. Right? And again, I've seen things. I've seen other dating apps. And I don't want to touch that until, I get a recommendation usually. That's usually how I operate in life. I like recommendations, but often I have to be the one to actually find things. Often I'm just doomed like that. Right? At least TikTok could recommend, right? TikTok is recommending all sorts of things. Instead, TikTok is saying, we're doomed. It's over, Dating is dead. Relationships are dead. And it's like, what the fuck, TikTok? What the fuck is going on? We're doomed. Nobody were able to learn how to use the internet. Oh shit. Womp womp, guys. Yeah, clown too. It's insane. Internet hit humanity, and everyone tried to learn the internet, but nobody managed to learn it. Nobody figured it out. So many people tried, man. They were either pulled by greed, or they were pulled by depression, basically. In every which way, but not actually being straightforward. Just being straight up a fucking human being. Pulled every which way. But never actually used the internet for, the most interesting part. Which is being human. Finding friends. Right? Building the most basic fucking skill that actually goes somewhere. It does something. Beyond just you doom scrolling or you posting shitty videos. It goes somewhere. That direction is shut. Gone. Nobody figured it out. Because again, we asked under capitalism, hey guys, do you know how... hey guys, can you do this? And people say, no. We can't do any of this. We're incompetent pieces of shit. Why would we know how to do this? That's crazy. Right? They don't know. They just put up a fucking good first impression because deep down, they have no answers whatsoever. Right? They repeat the same fucking few actions like little NPCs because they don't know anything, bro. I do the same thing, but I'm fucking panicking. Why do I have to do the same thing over and over again to make any progress, right? Because without relationships, I do the same thing that I do. At least I could do someone else's thing for once. For 1 hour. 1 hour. Let me do your thing, though. Yeah, if... Can you do this? Their response is this satire? Do you know who I am? Are you asking me to do something right now? You crazy. Skibbity tun tun sahur writes now. So fuck you, bro. Shut the fuck up, man. Like, nah, dude, don't worry about it. You're just not good enough, bro. You're not good now. You just like, look at your numbers. Your numbers are low. I can't do it because low numbers right now. They can't. They find 2 billion trillion excuses in there as mean as possible when faced with reality that they're pieces of fucking shit. And they just, again, torn into pieces. There's no humanity left. The ability, like, for people to have integrity is a godlike feature. Godlike feature to actually learn how to use certain things fucking takes tremendous amount of effort. They all bump into a wall and they just give up immediately. In every which way of like, well, I will bump into the wall in the most like stylized manner of like, look how good of a skateboarder I am. Whoa, look, it's me. And everyone's like, whoa, he bumped into the wall like a champ. He made 0 friends like a boss, man. I will never forget how he made 0 friends. Holy shit. I'm gonna be his parasocial relationship so it feels like he kind of made friends, but he didn't make any friends. You know, like, what the fuck is going on, dude? You didn't make any progress, though. What about the progress? What about a single relationship working to the point where it builds relationships, right? Because the first thing first, apparently, is an app. There's got to be an app for that. A relationship has to work so well that it creates an app. It blossoms something, right? It builds a never-ending structure of some kind that constantly grows and recruits more people. You know? Fucking pyramid schemes were better at building relationships than anything that ever existed so far within capitalism bounds. Fucking pyramid scheme, dude. Are you kidding me? This motherfucker, I actually believe he had 3 friends, guys. I actually believe that. I think he actually made it, though.
Hey, hey, hey.
I think he figured it out, dude.
Hey,
Hey, hey, hey! He can do this. Sure, he made 3 friends in jail, but you can believe that this man fucking did it.
Oh, what's up?
Like, if you go on stage, that's what you do. If you're a normal human being, that's what you do. What you don't do is just stand there. What you don't do is just stand there and do fucking nothing. That's what you don't do. Look like a fucking NPC. No, this guy is actually legit.
Whoa.
This is how you get all the money from all the people.
What's up?
And you get 3 friends.
No. Be connected. Wow. Be
Wow.
connected. Be connected.
No, you need more of this guy. You need more. I know.
Be connected. My name is Carlos Matos, and I am coming from New York City, New York. Let me tell you guys that a super and exciting moment of my life with all of you guys.
He probably made a friend yesterday. Imagine that.
Let me tell you that
Imagine
we are
that,
really
guys.
changing the world as we know it.
Pyramid scheme is the best fucking thing. so far.
The world is
Like, I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. When a person was, like, seated in front of me and asked all these questions and tried to be, like, my friend, and it was, like, capitalistic reasons, but it's like, man, I don't know. I was considering of, like, maybe I should I should find an excuse to talk to more people and make more friends below me, basically, and just spread the disease of friendship. That's how it's supposed to work. Pyramid scheme is the most normal thing in life. A normal growth of something. We connect, right? That's it. And we turned it into, like, the most disgusting thing. Put these people in jail, destroy all of this. We turn it into a scam. And that's why I'm introducing this product, right? Well, LARPing was introduced. Communities want to exist, but they don't know what the fuck to do to be able to pull the most bizarre magic trick of making friends, right? So community started popping. And I feel like this is finally just the beginning. This is finally going to be something that will relieve a lot of people. Holy shit, man. Do I believe in LARPing community? I believe that they're the first community and in all of capitalism, which actually includes cosplayers too. Female cosplayers also look like they're building a community for real, you know? For the first time, I feel like it's possible to get out of this fucking hell, basically, the survival situation, because when you have no friends, you're in survival mode. There's nothing else left. Your friend is the ultimate shield to you jumping into a pitfall and dying a sudden death. Because your friend is going to be like, oh, don't go over there because there's a pitfall and you die instantly. That's what a friend does. He knows something you don't. So when you are blindfolded in life, you're in survival situation. Simple as that. It's miserable, dude. It's miserable to understand that this is what we have right now. And the only thing you can do right now is have as much money to distract yourself from the miserable reality. Instead of being a dictator, understand that you're just distracting yourself. You're just feeding yourself whatever the nicest thing you can fucking pull off the shelves, just to forget how miserable it is to not have friends. Yes, even the Wasted Love is a winner of Eurovision. Now I have to think about it every time. What? But that's the vibe. Like, you feel like you could really spend such a great time with another person, and yet it's wasted because you don't know what to do to achieve that situationship where you're just at least spending time. At least you can trust someone. It's unbelievable to me. It's all getting wasted and you have to, like, repurpose yourself. If someone actually told me all the lessons of what capitalism is before capitalism fucking happened across my entire life was basically a torture situation. Because I rely on friends more than anyone else. It's my only fucking goal, is to not ignore that the wall exists, and the wall has to be destroyed eventually. You know? My goal is not to be like one of these motherfuckers who pretend to bump into a wall in a significant way. Right? Whether they get crippled or they become famous. Or they sit next to the wall and say hi to everyone like a politician, right? Like a guru, like a teacher of like, wow, try again next time, motivational speaker, you know? Keep going, keep smashing into the wall. Keep posting those videos. I want to actually break the damn thing. What the fuck are you guys doing? Why are you not actually succeeding on the most important thing? All of this is technically wasted love at the same time. And even though I blame capitalism, this could get a lot more painful if capitalism goes away but the problem stays. That would be insane. So the only hope I have of not becoming an alien and inventing my own language that you will have to learn because it's gonna be way better. You know, it's the new language, so everyone needs to learn the new language. You won't be able to escape that. People start yapping in my language. Because if I can spread a disease, it's gonna be the worst of its kind. Right? Where the disease automatically spreads. I don't have to do shit anymore. But at the same time, it comes from the depression, from destroying a precious thing that humanity had to offer as a result of, like, if you want to learn that language, you'll have to let go of knowing one language or two languages or whatever future you thought you had to travel to a certain country. You'll have to learn a language that doesn't have a country, doesn't have population. It's just hip and cool and trendy. And it could spawn even more alien behavior from people. I'm telling you guys, when I will speak on how aliens can destroy humanity, you'll simply not like that. You'll simply get, like, it's the scariest thing ever of how many ways they can destroy humanity. One way, thieves. Thieves communicate with each other. Kidnappers communicate with each other. Criminals. People who borderline want to destroy reality. They do these little fucking things to communicate of what they see. They have their hidden language, basically. Think about it, guys. That's one way alien language can operate. It can create a gossip right in front of your face. We're talking about you, we're marking you, basically, in different symbols, and you don't even fucking notice how much data we're collecting about you. We're scheming right in front of your face, scribbling our doodles, and you don't even notice because you don't recognize what's going on. You simply don't understand. And you let it pass off like, well, it's just a comment in a comment section, even though I don't understand what it is. But I guess is what it is. And I can't translate it. You know, that's another thing about alien language. You can't translate it. So again, I was pushed into a corner by just capitalism alone. And I was never told what I'm doing wrong. At least I could fix some fucking error of my ways. Besides first impression, okay? Let's not do that. At least I could fix some one thing, and all of a sudden people treat me better. But, no. It only gotten worse. Again, I'm stressed out. Too much noise. I still don't like relationship with my mom. I would cut that in fucking instants. If I could, you know, I'm like in the negatives. I'm having a relationship with people I don't actually like. That's where I am. to me, it's fucking mind-blowing, dude. It's mind-blowing. And nobody fucking gets it because, again, they're the dictators. When, men suffering from loneliness? What is that, you know? Everyone has their own fucking perspective, and sometimes their perspective is completely fake. They're also suffering, but they just don't want to admit it. Because fuck it, you know? You're just a floating negative internet user. You don't actually have to admit your own downfalls, your own insecurities. Why would you do that? Right? If people actually started admitting of what's wrong with them, instead of just posting the best side of themselves, we could actually get somewhere. We could make progress for once. I know nothing is wrong with this guy.
It's not anymore the way it used to be. No, no, no.
Not how he... Man, he really got that friend, man. That's crazy. Again, if we're talking about capitalism as individualism, this is not about BitConnect. This is just a guy who has finally done something big in his life, and you can only imagine what it is. That's it. You have to peel off that veil of bullshit, because again, we smell that pyramid schemes are the most, like, friendly. They will take any stranger and try to talk to the stranger. I was picked up through, like, Facebook, you know, of like, man, you could talk to this person and see what happens. And it's like, wow, that was just the nicest thing, to be picked and to be talked to. It's like, wow. I know it's predatory in the end of the day, but that's the coolest thing. I wish it existed. I wish people would be picked on a certain idea, that they could, like, just spread love and compassion to people and get paid for it or whatever. I'll pay them a little bit. I'll contribute. I'm not a rich person, but I'll donate for the cause. If I get to build a pyramid scheme that pays people to be nice, to pick others below themselves, to try and grab as many people into the pyramid scheme for as long as it lasts, doesn't matter. But build something. So many things can be built. Infinity of things. One of them has to work. One of them has to be competent enough to, like, again, I told you guys, the job system usually ends up in a competence, state, I guess. It works. It works 100% of the way, basically, instead of 0%. Because people want to get paid. So they're just going to do the task as best as they can. Yes, you can potentially cheat the system, but overall, I mean, as long as you do a smart anti-cheat, here you go. Memes are more dangerous than you think, Ace.
Wow! Be connect!
This is how fearless you have to be to make one friend in today's society. This is how fearless.
We are coming, and we are coming in waves.
Technically, within myself, I know I can just approach people and I'll be fine, right? I can just come up to a person and be like, yeah, you want to talk about this? I can find a way to do it where it's appropriate. I don't want to do it, though. I rely on other people doing it by accident, even. By accident. Then I can maybe find courage to replicate their efforts. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do none of these things. Okay? Until I see it in the wild. I don't want to be the first one to do it and to show that, yes, it's that easy, bro. I could have fixed my problems long time ago. You know? I was just hoping you're better than this. People who master first impressions, they don't they don't waste time on women. They don't waste time to try and like have a conversation. They just predate. That's it. That's simple as that, right? Because they have the ultimate power that everyone is asking for. First impression. Eventually it becomes a bloated mess because the first impression that people ask for is like, you already have to be famous. You already have to have experience to get a job. You already have to have the ball rolling. And it's like, what? Now you, what? Like, if I get a good first impression, I can get subscribers. But often enough, it becomes this exponential mess where, because I have subscribers, it also boosts my first impression to even more and more people. And it unlocks even more of the, like, algorithmic space for me. Becomes exponential. That's how crazy it is, right? Imagine the power level Mr. Beast has when it comes to first impression basis. You know, that's all he had to do. That's all he had to master. Nobody's questioning anything else but first impression. Until Mr. Beast just keeps switching what you're looking at. So it feels like first impression is never ending. He can make it last a very long time. As well as any other YouTuber. That's the trick. To trick your brain. And it probably goes deeper than that. I need a definition to be able to dig deeper. But again, if on first impression basis, you cannot make friendships anyways. So someone like Mr. Beast and anyone else, they just accepted the reality of like, if I have 3 friends, I might still have to keep swapping them out because friendship's not gonna last anyways. It's just gonna be like that. That's it. I will have my best friend Chandler. That's it. And he's a little bit mentally ill. But that's okay. Right? Maybe he has to be mentally ill to be my friend, but that's okay. Guys, at some point, Mr. Beast mask will fall, and you'll understand that this whole fucking thing was just a first impression game all along, and it has no fucking morality behind it. When it comes to moral grounds, Mr. Beast is getting shredded into tiny pieces. When it comes to doing first impressions, he's the biggest winner. So what's actually going on? Which side is winning? Unfortunately, Mr. Beast is not winning. He is slowly decaying because he cannot resist drama in any significant way. He's not even trying. That's the whole point. Because it would flicker a different first impression on his channel. If he actually responded to drama on his main channel and pretended that it's somehow a part of his ecosystem, it would mess the first impression basis entirely. Right? Everyone's going to be like, what is this though? Everyone will, like, you yourself, you have to deny that something is wrong with you. You yourself have to deny it. You yourself have to stop showing your flaws so openly. And just let other people pick your flaws apart until they will still be able to destroy you. When will they be able to destroy you? Well, YouTube was never about morals. YouTube never reached that level. Alright? Technically, what you know as capitalism, in terms of corporatism, was for a very long time around. And YouTube can actually reach next generation. Morality generation. It can become a government system, you know, where it actually has a decent amount of rules to keep it safe. To keep it safe so money doesn't go to the bad people. You know, so that everything is like capped and taxed basically, and small creators are actually boosted, communities are boosted. That's what a moral YouTube would look like. And it's supposed to happen at some point. You know, it's not bound by capitalism sinking, but it is bound by time itself. Because someone else is going to do it. Someone else is going to build YouTube if they can't do it themselves. Someone else is going to reorganize YouTube in a more reasonable way. The threat is growing. And they have to recognize that. Even YouTube itself has fundamental flaws. Okay? And usually if you fix your fundamental flaws in the best way possible, you drag your whole thing into the next generation. And it's also almost best to even rebrand yourself sometimes. If you fix fundamental flaws, it's like a sequel, you know? It's like a sequel, but a sequel in a much more different way. It's more like Fallout 2 to Fallout 3 type of sequel. It is completely different. The fundamental flaw has been fixed. No real gamer actually fucking cared about this piece of shit until it became three-dimensional. Until it became first-person shooter style. And then everyone is like, oh, I get it now. Right? And not only I get it now, but it's so fucking good now. And when I look at this, I'm like, I don't know, where do I even begin to like a game like this? There's no fucking way, dude. You're gonna force me to play this. You're gonna try and sell this as somehow related to Fallout. A fundamental flaw has been fixed. The end. And all of a sudden, it gets adopted by the wider market. Not because of first impressions necessarily either, but first impression can be this bad. I do have to talk about GMTK because I am withdrawing from the Game Jam. The theme is Countdown or whatever. I don't give a fuck. I just don't give a fuck anymore. I saw for what flaws it has. I got through a lot of pain points, and until I have fully functional game engine and I can just shit out a game effortlessly, I'm not gonna give a fuck, unfortunately, about this stuff. Again, I could shit out the game that I shit out last time, that sort of quality, but it's just not worth the effort right now. And I talked extensively how disgusting it was to participate in the Game Jam. How it's just another piece of drama, another fucking set of shitty comments, basically. Shitty button clicks ruining your entire fucking chance to be anywhere in top 1,000 or anything. Like, you're doomed. You're doomed. If you're trying to act as a normal human being, you're doomed to fail. So the best thing you can do is stay silent and just drop a nuke. Drop the best thing that anyone has ever seen. And shut up about it. Just move on to focus on something else. Don't focus on other people. Because the moment you give other people agency or ask them to do something, they will fail most of the time. So the best thing you can do is just do self-improvement. I'm telling you the ultimate secret that you also should have fucking drill into your head. Talking to other human beings and expecting other human beings to do anything at all when the incompetence is so fucking high right now. It's insane. Like, again, I had like good first impressions of some dude, and all he was able to give to me is question mark and eyeball emoji. And it's like, what the fuck? Just, what did I witness? I project so much value, and then whenever I meet my hero, is the biggest monkey in the fucking, in recent times. Biggest monkey discovery. Oh, it's monkey, it's not human. Monkey. like, how do you not know to learn communication? To learn how to read and reply accordingly. Why even do that if you're gonna fucking mess shit up? Why even do the thing? What I see GMTK Game Jam as is just enslavement. Like, we're pumping out games that not supposed to exist anyways. So many people want to be game developers, and they're idiots for trying to do that. As a game developer, I can tell them that we need, like, tremendous game engines. We need to be able to vibe code our games or whatever. When you can achieve effortless game development, then yes, no big deal. But right now, as it stands, the industry is absolutely fucking cooked. It's another type of wasted love. Wasted love everywhere. And this is something you have to protect yourself from. Meaning that the best strategy was always just survive. That was the best strategy, and the best strategy beyond survival is improve yourself, because you can build tremendous amount of things. You know what to do. You know how to help yourself, right? You know what to test, what kind of tools to test. You know what kind of problems you're facing in life. From your own perspective, you can actually project most of the solutions, while other people are just trying, because a lot of people want to just rely on others to solve their problems, because they kind of have a feeling they're incompetent, but they're also not going to admit that they're incompetent. And it's so fucking pathetic, because a lot I have to think about now, this stupid breakup where a person was incompetent beyond belief, but just never, ever could fucking fathom to admit their stupid incompetence. At least admit. No, I had to admit. I had to admit the magical incompetence, rather. They couldn't. What's that about? Right? My mom does not admit any incompetence. It's not a discussion that I'm able to have with her. I have to yell at the fucking idiot until they succumb to changing their behavior. But beyond that point, that's how people operate right now. They don't have to. They won't. People are incompetent to the point where arresting them while they're getting arrested, they just pull out more crimes. You know? They attack a policeman or whatever. Whatever it takes to just rot in jail a lot longer. Because they never gonna admit incompetence. Right? Even at gunpoint. But then the opposite is true as well. When people try to run away from police, it becomes the funniest thing, because police now is incompetent and can't actually catch anyone. And it's like, what the fuck is going on?
We're starting, and we are going to actually go all over the world. We are belting the entire world.
Why is he so happy?
I am right now independently, financially independently.
He is financially independently, guys. No, that's the point. When we are free from financial burdens that everyone is fucking obsessed about, maybe we'll start thinking about what actual problems we have and how to actually achieve a solution, because nobody fucking cares right now. Even, like, again, when I mentioned TikTok mentioned Tinder as an example. And I just realized, no, Tinder obviously doesn't work, because it asks people to make it work. It's like an app crying and asking, hey guys, please make it work. And even I myself, I run a channel, right? And no one's subscribing, so, like, oops, doesn't work for me. It works for other people, but not for me. Because guess motherfucking what? I have to rely on other people to not be little pussies and click one button. Crazy, I know. The moment I have to rely on other people, none of this fucking matters. The competence of uploading 2,000 videos doesn't matter, right? Nobody cares about that shit. That part of how much effort you put into this? Nah. Forget about that part. But why not? This to me alone screams that I'm not the problem. Something else is. I'm willing to put in the effort, but the system itself doesn't recognize effort at all. It only recognizes first impressions or something else. Something else fundamentally is wrong. And it's not up to me to figure it out. Imagine a smart person isn't able to actually give off his ideas, correct certain people, level up, for fuck's sake, for doing, actual work, and get paid for it, and get treated as a person who's doing real work. Instead, I'm God knows what. The most disgusting human being, I guess. I don't know. However you want. Like, again, people want me to feel incompetent when they themselves destroy every system because the system itself is asking them for their competence, which they don't have, and everything gets destroyed. So fucking often. The game jam is a little bit different because the incompetence is, well, it's not different because there's fundamental flaws, right? There are people that will ruin everything for you, and people that will try and cheat the system using niceness or whatever it takes, right? Try to get your attention, basically. Oh no, wait, vote for me. People will try so many different things, not understanding that it's wasted love. Your effort doesn't matter. In a broken system, in a fundamentally broken system, your effort will never matter. No matter how much you put into it, it all gets wasted. That's what you have to learn. Be very careful. You can waste so much of your life. And that's that's what people will laugh about. That's what people want. That's what narcissists prey upon, basically. That you waste yourself. You waste your energy for fucking nothing. You get nothing in return. But you can still trick narcissists, as I did, where it's like, no. I am working on myself, rather. Right? Just work on yourself in front of their face. And they will be confused of like, but you're wasting energy. Oh. So many people are just fucking evil. And the incompetence of the system to actually remove evil doesn't exist. So nothing works. Nothing gets built. No one knows how to use the internet. Everyone is wasting themselves trying to figure it out. At least I know what's actually going on. Thank you for watching. And thank you for surviving. See you guys next time.